The following footage was not meant to be made into a video. I was teaching my little brother Ryan the basics of ghost hunting, and his friend Tabor joined us. Tabor was very skeptical until the end of our investigation. After a series of failed attempts, I decided to take them to a grave where I had gotten several EVP responses in the past. Though we did not capture any EVPs, we did get some pretty good activity with the EMF detector in Tabor. Ultimately, I decided to share the footage because I felt it to be pretty compelling. The grave is at a public cemetery, and I decided to exclude the person's name from the video out of respect for the family. We will simply call him Al. I will also omit a question I asked him regarding the last time the Seki team visited out of respect to our former members. We're here at the grave of Al, and we're actually getting a 1 milligauss reading on the electromagnetic field detector. A pretty steady one, too. Come over here for a second, Ryan. Back, look at that needle. You see it?
Yeah. It's like right.
It's actually, the closer I get to it, it goes up.
Ain't that something?
That is impressive.
Yeah. That's not happening anywhere else.
Alright. Al, do you remember me? Do you remember me? We actually spoke before. You just hold still, Tabor. It's been a while. Somebody started a truck over there. I feel like that actually might have happened the last time I talked to you as well. So last time we spoke, I asked you what you thought about the tree that moved your headstone sideways. It looks like it's got a little bit out of control at this point. Is there anything you would like to tell us about that? How does that make you feel? Is there anything you would like to tell last time I was here? Car went by. This is my little brother Ryan and his friend Tabor. Is there anything you would like to tell them? You can quit taking pictures, Tabor. Alright, Al, it was good seeing you again. We're at 1.5 milligauss right now. Okay, I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk to you again one night. But if there's anything you want to say while we're here right now, feel free. Needle spiking between 1 and 5. Or like 1.5. You see it?
It's a pretty steady one right now.
It was, but watch, it was jumping a minute ago. Al, if you could, you can touch this device I'm holding in my hand here. If you want. See it fluctuating. Have you noticed that?
I think so. whenever I look at it, it tends to be steady where it's at. It kind of wants to move. Oh. It'll move a little bit now when you moved it. I'm dead at 1. Oh.
See?
Yep, a little bit up. Alrighty.
Alright, Al, I think we're gonna call it a night. Hold the camera on this again. That was at 1.5.
Did it reach that far?
Yeah, I mean, it's almost there right now.
It is almost there. I know. It's like 1 1/4.
Now, I'm going to move this a little closer to you. Well, your stone anyway, I should say. Oh, that's incredible. Alright, we're going to leave you alone now. Thanks for your time. Okay, I'm back recording again. We were just about to leave Al when we got another spike on the EMF. We're currently at 2 milligauss. Is there something you're trying to tell us, Al, before we leave? I'm going to keep focused on the meter, it's moving. Anything at all? Okay, it's going down now, so I assume no. And it is back up again. So I'm assuming yes.
Or are we actually going to hear it beat?
Do you think it's important to mention that it felt like somebody's been touching my arm for the past 3 minutes?
Yes, that is incredibly important to mention, Tabor.
Is that what that was? Yeah, I kept feeling a weird, like, goosebump feeling around here, like somebody was lightly touching, and then up around here.
Yeah, feel free, please, tell us more.
That's it.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what.
oh, Ryan,
Uh-oh.
record Tabor. Tabor, talk to him.
Hey, Al. What's up, man?
Don't look at it, I guess.
Uh,
I'm not blind.
I don't know what to say to you, man. That was weird. That was a weird feeling. I don't like the tree situation you got going. That sucks, honestly. I guess I should ask if there's any particular reason why you wanted to do something to me, I guess. That might be a good question. If you'd like to answer that, that'd be nice.
Give him time to answer. Just give him a minute. It's cool. That's had a little fluctuation on the meter. Okay, you can ask him. Give about 15-20 seconds between questions.
Okay. Yeah, I've been feeling kind of, even when I turn away, I feel more cold on one side than the other, and I feel like just very specific feelings around certain parts. Is that you, my guy?
This is incredible. Al, what is it about Tabor? What are you trying to tell us? You know that he was a bit skeptical when you're trying to prove something to him, maybe? Anything else you want to tell him? Or say to him?
I'm not very good at talking to you, Al, but if there's any, I guess, way you could show us something or say something, that'd be nice. But of course, that's up to you. I understand being put on the spot.
You got a chilly night out, did you?
It's a perfect night. I mean, we got a constant reading of 2 milligauss still. Like,
Try his arm.
Well, it'll detect the field. It don't detect a certain part, you know.
Thought it would.
I've noticed it beeps a lot when I go to touch my left arm specifically.
Is there a reason why you're touching Tabor's left arm?
Got a tingle on my pinky.
I got goosebumps right a second. They went away.
Did you?
Yeah. All right, this has been really good. This has been a really good one. All right, Al. We're gonna let you rest now. It's been awesome talking to you again, and I look forward to talking to you some more. You want to say bye to him?
Goodbye, Al.
After we left the cemetery, I was curious to know Tabor's thoughts on the investigation. We set up the camera and let him talk about his experience.
Tabor,
Yes.
was it safe to say you were a little bit skeptical when we started our ghost hunting adventure tonight?
Yeah.
All right, explain to us what happened on that last person we talked to.
Well, to me, I like the cold. I typically keep my house in 67. In the winter, I try to bump it to 66. I just don't. I don't care. So I'm not phased by the cold. But I was feeling kind of cold on one side, just a little bit, like around my neck and my arm, kind of, and like parts of my back occasionally. And as you guys, I stopped taking pictures, and you guys were talking about how the meter was, going nuts and like getting high. I started feeling kind of like a kind of like goosebumps through here. It kind of felt like when somebody does like the "I'm not touching anything," but only here. Like it wasn't my whole arm. It didn't feel like it was cold. It just felt like right here. There was a slight chill, not too bad, but there was just goosebumps and like the feeling of being touched right here. And then it kind of went up my sleeve a little bit to like around my shoulder and my arm. And it kept happening. And I didn't mention it because I was like, it's probably not anything. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, yeah, it's not really that cold. So as it kept going up, I came closer, and obviously I pointed it out that it was happening. It was very strange. It genuinely did feel like getting touched, but kind of like really softly. It wasn't like getting grabbed or anything. It was just weird. Just the fact that it was so specific into like one or two areas, and it felt like it kind of transitioned from the two was weird. Like it did really feel like being touched by something, kinda. That's about it for that part. Yeah.
Yeah. So what was going on was we was trying to have a conversation with that I'd spoken to before many years ago. We found his grave again, and we tried to make contact with him, and we kept getting a reading of 1 milligauss, and we go to 1 to 1.5, and it will keep jumping up and down. And Taylor mentioned that he started getting touched on the arm. So when we turned attention to Taylor, and he literally started the investigation. He took the investigation over. We started getting spikes above 2 milligauss, and you can see from the footage, the actual EMF, the ghost meter started beeping, started going off. So we would be hitting 2.5, not quite the 3 milligauss, we were getting there. And funnily enough, didn't you say when the spikes would happen, you would feel like you were being touched at that moment?
Yeah, and I noticed that I tried to replicate this a couple times, and I realized if I just did this too often it wouldn't happen. But if I'd leave gaps between it, if I would just take my hand out of my pocket and move it over and touch around where I felt the touch on my left arm, it would go off. If I kept doing it, it wouldn't. But if I waited just a little bit and just kind of did it at random, it would go off pretty loud. Specifically, like timed perfectly as I would go by it, which obviously is a bit odd.
All right. Well,
we'll end it at that. But so I do want to say you were a little bit skeptical at first. What are your thoughts now?
That certainly was something. It was interesting. I definitely can't say it didn't happen or anything like that, but too oddly specific to be just cold, because I wasn't cold and I wasn't scared or anything, so it wasn't like, oh, I got scared and I got goosebumps, because again, I feel like that would have been more prevalent as well. Like, just how specific it was is, yeah, I'm bad at talking. I guess I'm just saying that it was definitely not normal.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, we'll stop with that. But real quick, you mentioned you weren't scared. A common misconception about ghost hunting is people think it's scary. They don't actually have to be scary. You experience that firsthand tonight.
Yeah.
It's just cool, isn't it? It's just fun to do.
Yeah, I just more meant like the goosebumps couldn't have been from like being afraid or anything, because I was as calm as can be. That's what another part that really stood out to me was just how genuinely calm and relaxed I was. Yet I was getting goosebumps on my arm, which is not something that logically should have happened. I wasn't cold, wasn't freaked out, and there's no real explanation I can think of why I would just randomly get goosebumps out of nowhere.
All right, man. Well, we'll leave it at that. Thanks for hanging out.